The Joe Rogan Experience.
Well, the Rick Baker scene when he transforms into the werewolf in the chick's apartment, when he's in the nurse's apartment for the first time, and he's like, "I'm fucking burning up!" And his back is popping,
and it's like bright. It's a bright lit apartment. That's what makes it weird.
Yes, and the hand stretch. Fucking wild, man. To this day,
so weird.
To this day, and then he tried to kind of recreate. Like the actual makeup style werewolf with the Wolfman with Benicio del Toro.
Yeah.
But it just wasn't there. The movie wasn't there. It just wasn't quite good enough. But there's one fucking badass scene where it becomes the Wolfman when they're in the insane asylum and they're doing tests on him. Do you remember that film?
I don't remember that film that much. I hate saying things because this was my thought at the time. I remember watching it thinking, Benicio del Toro seems like he doesn't want to be in this movie. Which is such a stupid thing for me to say because I don't know what the fuck he wants. Because I think he's a brilliant actor and I really like watching him. But it just had that feeling. Like, I don't know what it was. And I've talked to people connected with that movie and I don't think it was a great experience for people for some reason. Maybe there was a lot of meddling.
Probably a lot of meddling. Is that something that's a difficult thing to manage, or do you not have to deal with that anymore?
I had to deal with that a lot when I made the 2 Halloween movies for Weinstein Company.
Because they're this gigantic franchise.
Well, there was weird meddling. It was just like kind of psychotic meddling.
How so?
Just weird, like my phone was ringing all the time when I'm on set working, and it'd be like, "We think it should be this." I'm like, well,
while you're working?
Yeah. Well, if I did that, then everything we shot doesn't match. And it makes no sense. It's just like...
They're doing coke and just coming up with ideas.
I don't know. It's just weird thoughts all the time. But I mean, a lot of times, I don't want to like name all these names of people, but I remember working on one movie that never happened, and whatever was the #1 movie from that weekend was exactly the notes I would get for what we were working on. It didn't... And I swear to God, because it was around the time of Private Parts, and Private Parts was #1. I go, I guarantee you when I walk into the office, they're going to say, "Can we get Howard Stern in this movie?" And they did.
No!
Yes, it didn't matter what it was. If it was Starship Troopers, they go, "Can we get giant bugs in this movie suddenly?" It wasn't the Halloween movies. It was another movie that never actually happened, and you're just like, this is insanity.
The uncreative executive that wants to be creative is a classic story in Hollywood. I mean, that's really like a villain in a film about a movie, about a guy trying to make a movie.
Yeah, I mean, I always thought, I will give credit for things like, I remember working with Bob Weinstein, and I always thought like the first thing he would say was spot on. Like they love movies and they have a good sense of movies. And he would say something, he'd be like, what happens between the second act and the third act, it's a bunch of bullshit, it doesn't work. And you'd go, yeah, you're right, it is. But like when he went to the next level of the detail of what's wrong with it, it's kind of like someone going like, that joke's not funny. Here's how it would be funny. And you're like, no.
Right.
The first part of your sentence was all he needed. I don't need you now to tell me how to make it funny. Right. And that's what happens. Like I don't do them anymore, but back when I would be forced to do test screenings with an audience, you could just sitting there, you'll know. You'll go, okay, they're bored during this part. It's boring. Or they're not laughing. It's supposed to be funny. I don't now need that kid to get up and explain to the studio how to save the picture because he watched a movie once. So the process is like half good and half insanity.